Hello my frugal friends, welcome back to our place for another grocery haul video. Now today we are doing a stock up back in Alice Springs. We have finished our time down in and around Uluru-Kata National Park. We're back in Alice to do a restock, and we're looking at probably not getting back at least to a Coles and for another month. So this is another big stock up. We've got some bits and pieces happening over the next couple of weeks which are going to keep us out of the major towns. We will be passing through Catherine in about 10 days to 14 days. So I know they have a Woolies in there. We'll be able to do another bit of a top up, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to see another Coles until we get to Darwin, which is going to be a month away from now. So the focus of today's shop was to stock up on the things from Coles that we really like to have for no other particular reason than we like to have them. So we did stock up on a few of those bits and pieces, and just having enough food on hand to get us through at least up until Catherine, when we can do another top up, and then on to Darwin. So let's turn this around. I'll show you guys what we picked up today in Alice Springs and what we're going to be taking with us for the next little bit. Oh, and I should say also, if we haven't had the chance to hang out before, my name is Nikki. I'm an Aussie mum, and we are traveling around Australia full time at the moment in our caravan. So we're bringing lots of grocery hauls and bits and pieces to you guys from all over Australia as we move around. And it's been really interesting just to see how things change as we move through different states, what's available, what's not, the different shops that we can get to, and of course the prices. How much do things change, particularly as we move away from the coast, become a little bit more remote. We've obviously got the added thing that we just need to think about, which is how far have we got between shops, when are we going to be able to stock up next, how many days do we have to live off grid for, and all of that sort of good stuff to take into account. So sometimes we do really big shops because we know that it's going to be a couple of weeks before we get into another really big town, and then sometimes it's not quite so dramatic where we can just do a normal 1 week or a fortnight shop. But that's pretty much the gist of what's going on around our house. We are doing our trip on a budget, so we do like to try and share as many of the tips and tricks that are still working for us, even though we are in a caravan, slightly more confined on space when it comes to storage. But you know what, we're still managing to stock up on those specials, getting the most bang for our buck, particularly when it comes to our grocery allocation, and just making all of those tips and tricks that work at home work for us while we're on the road. Anyways, that's enough about me. So let's have a look at this week's shopping. And this is our haul from Coles. Now, what I didn't know when we set out to go to the supermarkets today was that there was a train derailment yesterday, and a lot of fresh produce, but a lot of other products have been they're unavailable because of that. So fresh stuff was a bit of a stretch. There was not a lot on the shelves, and we just did the best that we could. So we'll probably have to go back in maybe a couple of days and just try and get a couple of different bits and pieces. But this is what we grabbed from Coles today. So onions were on special for $1.90 for a kilo, so I've got a bag of those. Kiwi fruits were on special for $4.90, so I've picked up an 8-pack of those. And apples, we have grabbed some pink ladies. They were $5.50 a kilo, but we've got a couple of apples there as well. What I did do is stock up on a lot of pantry and freezer stuff. So I've grabbed 6 tins of chopped tomatoes. Standard price, they're up to 95 cents each. But the price of everything is going up, as you guys would know. All right, so 3 tins of chickpeas. I did grab an extra tin because I'm going to try and do something a little bit different. I've got a tin of diced beetroot, so I can chuck that either through a salad or I'll do like a roast veggie toss where I'll roast up some veggies, and beetroot goes really nicely in that. So something a little bit different. I only grabbed 1 tin of cannellini beans because that is all they had on the shelf. I have 2 tins of lentils, 2 tins of corn kernels, partly because I didn't have any frozen corn kernels, but also I do keep these in the pantry because we go through a lot of corn, and then this is a shelf stable way that I can just keep a little bit extra veggies. So I do grab some corn as well. Moving this out of the way so I can show you the corn. I've grabbed another thing of jackfruit. So I grabbed this a couple of months ago. It's an interesting product. So last time what I did was I did like a pulled pork type thing, but with the jackfruit, and it was very spicy, so Charlotte didn't like it, but that was because of the seasonings that I put on it. So I'm going to try that again with something less spicy. I've also got some creamed corn, again 2 containers of that. And I use that a lot to thicken up stews and soups. I just chuck that in for some extra sneaky veggies, and it's a great way to thicken things up. So I like to keep that on hand. I've also grabbed a tin of mushrooms, which is not something that I normally do, but I have seen a recipe that I'm going to try and remake. So we'll give it a go. I don't know, not something I normally buy, don't know if I'm going to like it, but hey, sometimes you just got to jump in and try. Also out of pretty much everything, so we are restocking a lot of stuff in the caravan that will last for a long time. So out of garlic, and I'm out of ginger completely, used the last of those up, so replacing those, again just the standard price, they weren't on special. Also used up the last of our nutritional yeast. So this is a little bit expensive. It's $8 for the bag, but it lasts us for ages, and we use heaps of it. So we're using this in place of Parmesan cheese. It has a bit of a cheesy sort of flavor going on. It doesn't taste like cheese, but I don't know how to describe it other than to say that it has a cheesy thing going on when you use it. So we're using more and more of this. This is also has B vitamins in it and is enriched with B12, so that can be a really good thing in your diet if you are not getting enough B12, which most of us are not. I've also grabbed some tahini because I am going to try and make my own hummus. Now, the last time I did it was very unsuccessful, but sometimes you just need to go back and have another go, so I'm going to try that. I only have a really small blender, so it's probably not going to work, but we are going through a lot more hummus these days, so I don't know, I'll give it a crack. Could be a bit of a fail, but we see how we go. I've also grabbed some whole grain mustard, just for something different, some different flavors. I'll probably end up throwing that through like mashed potato and stuff, just to change things up a little bit. I've grabbed some more couscous, completely out of that. I've grabbed 2 more packets of the brown basmati rice. Now this is up to $4 a kilo standard price, but even rice seems to be going up, except for the standard plain white rice. That seems to have sort of stabilized a little bit, but we really like this. It's just really nice. So I have got 2 of those, but because I find this hard to get anywhere else. I can only get it at Coles and only in big places, but cheap white rice you can get pretty much anywhere. So we can stock up on some things along the road as we go. I'm just sort of focusing on the stuff that I really need to get while we're in Alice Springs, and I know that I can get it. All right, completely out of Italian herb mix. So I've grabbed the big Hoyt's one. It does work out to be a little bit more economical than the Master Foods, but sometimes Master Foods just do things that you fall in love with, like Tuscan, and I love this and I use this in everything. So yes, I pay the big bucks to have Tuscan because I like it. Garlic salt. Probably shouldn't use as much as what we do because obviously it's full of salt, but we've been throwing this through a few different things, and I am going to use it in the hummus that I'm going to try and make. So I did grab the big thing of that. So yeah, so I've got that. trying a different stock. I haven't had this one before, but they didn't have the ones that I normally get, which are the Marcel 7s. So I don't know, we'll try this, give it a go, see what happens. So yeah, can't comment on it. So I don't know. Wraps. There was also a shortage on wraps, and there was no bread. So we've picked up 3 packets of the corn tortillas. These are new, apparently. See, it says new. Helga's are on special for $3 a packet. So I grabbed 3 of those, and I grabbed the last remaining traditional wholemeal. That was the last one on the shelf of that one. And the corn tortillas, haven't had them before. They should be fine. I've grabbed 3 of those because everything else was out of stock. I also grabbed some naan because we like that. In particular, Shannon and Charlotte really like to have that. And that is, again, something that is shelf stable. I can just have that on the shelf. And it makes just life really easy sometimes just to pull that out and it's ready to go. So that'll last for a while. Put that in the pantry, should be good. Flour. I've got some more wholemeal self-raising flour. I've actually got 2 kilos of that and 1 of the plain. I do use the self-raising more often than not, but I have grabbed some baking powder and the Mackenzie's egg replacer because I've actually not had baking powder in the pantry for a while. And there's been a couple of times when I could have used it and I didn't have it. So now I've actually got those. They will last for donkeys because I won't use them that much, but just restocking the pantry, and now we've got those sorts of things. Completely out of maple syrup, so I have replaced that. Again, standard price. And I've grabbed some cocoa powder for cooking and baking and stuff like that, again to have on hand because I'm completely out of these things in the pantry. Frozen stuff. Right, this is where we've got most of the veggies, partly because this is how it's easier for us to keep them. We do have a large freezer in the fridge. Plus we also have a fridge freezer in the car, so we can carry a lot of frozen stuff and it lasts longer for us this way. So I've got 1 bag of peas, 1 bag of beans. I've got 2 lots of the frozen broccoli. 2 lots of the cauliflower, 2 lots of the broccoli and cauliflower, 2 bags of the carrots, peas and cauliflower, and 2 bags of the stir-fry mix. Now they didn't have any corn and they didn't have any of like a cheap veggie mix, you know, the one that's only a couple of bucks and you just sort of throw it through everything. So I'm going to have a look for those at Woolies. But that's the frozen stuff. Oh, and some chopped spinach as well. That also needs to go in the freezer. The Lobos were on special this week for $5, so we did grab 2 of those. That's probably one of our little vices, but don't go to the supermarket too often, so don't get it too often. This is new to us. Queen Victoria. I haven't seen this brand before, but we're going to give this a go. So this was on special $5.50, half price at Coles this week. So we'll try that, and if it's nice, we'll probably go back and get some more. If not, I'll have to just wait until the other brand that I normally get is on special, which I cannot for the life of me think of what it is. Right, tofu. Nature's Kitchen, firm tofu and silken. They were just their standard prices at Coles. I've also grabbed some of the Nature's Kitchen plant-based cheddar slices. Charlotte really likes this particular brand, so I've grabbed those primarily for her, but also because we're going to do burgers, because I have a bit of a burger hankering at the moment. So we're going to do burgers. Just need to get some rolls, so hopefully we might be able to pick up some fresh rolls tomorrow and do burgers. So I've grabbed the Wildly Good Smoky Cauliflower burgers. I really like these. They are pretty expensive. They were on sale this week for $5. I usually normally pick them up when they're on clearance, but wasn't that lucky this week. But they are on special. They're not full price, which is $7 or $8, but still not super cheap. And then we've got the Veggie Delights Not Burgers and the Smoky Barbecue Burgers. Now, the good thing is they do keep in the freezer for ages, so we've got some for later on down the track as well. And these freeze well too. I've frozen the ones that I've picked up marked down before, and they turn out great. These ones ridiculously low in saturated fat, so that's pretty much for me. And like I said, we'll put the other ones in the freezer for later on. Charlotte's got some cheese, and we'll probably put some cheese on some of the burgers. And we've got a ridiculously big container of hummus. So we've sort of all got on the hummus train of late. Everyone's really enjoying it. So now we're up to buying a big 1 kilo. I haven't had the Coles brand hummus before, so we'll see how we go, but it is like half the price of the other one. So this one was $5.50. The other ones are like $10 for a 1 kilo. Hence why I am going to try to make my own. So that's why I've got, whoops, there's the tahini and the extra thing of chickpeas. So we'll see how we go. It should end up being a little bit cheaper if I can actually make it myself, but I don't actually have a food processor. I've only got a little 12-volt blender, and I don't know if it's going to cut it. But that is everything from Coles. Let me show you what we picked up from Woolies. And this is what we picked up from Woolies. So there are still a few bits and pieces that we need to still go and get after all of this, but this is pretty much going to get us square. All right, so for breakfast, in the breakfast departments, I have 3 of the really large value packs of quick oats. They were just their standard price. Wheat Bix, the 1.2 kilo pack, again, that's a standard price. Charlotte is allowed to pick 1 special treaty breakfast each month. So this month she's chosen to have rainbow rings. Look, you know, it's not the healthiest thing, but I'm also not worried about a little bit of a treat every now and then, considering the rest of everything that she eats. Everything in moderation, treats every now and then. It's all good. $2.50 on that one, standard price. Fruits and veg. So like I was saying before, there was a train derailment, which meant that Coles didn't have a lot of fresh stuff. Woolies was a little bit better, so I've picked up a bit of fresh stuff from Woolies, and this is what we were able to grab there. So mixed leaf, the big value pack, that's 200 grams, standard price on that one. The spinach is also the big 280 gram bag of baby spinach leaves. We'll use this stuff up first and then move over onto the frozen stuff. So I'll get those into containers. I find that if I put them in containers with paper towel, then they'll last heaps longer. It just helps to absorb the moisture, and I will get a couple of days, like close to a week out of them. Whereas if I leave them in the plastic bags, they go slimy really quickly. Alfalfa, standard price. There wasn't a lot of specials this week, so we're just doing the best with what we can. Trust tomatoes. Now, the tomato situation was really sad. If we wanted to get tomatoes for our burgers, which we did, this was it. So it is actually used by tomorrow, but they don't feel too bad. So yeah, again, it is what it is. Wasn't a great buy, but yeah, it's what you do sometimes. Carrots, 1 kilo, the Odd Bunch ones. They were the best price that I could find this time around. White mushrooms were on special just at Woolies this week, so $6 as opposed to the standard $7.50. Everything is going up in price, and yeah, it just is what it is. But $6 for the big 500 grams. I picked up 2 red caps, so they were on special. They were $7.90 a kilo, which isn't great, but it's better than what it has been. So I picked up 2 that didn't look too bad, but the rest of them didn't look great. So that's all I grabbed there. 1 massive big head of kale. So standard price at Woolies, it wasn't on special, it was $4.90, but like that's massive. So again, I will strip this and just keep the leaves, strip it, put it in a container. It'll last in the fridge for over a week, and then it's ready to go, so I can use it in dishes as needed. I also keep the stems, and I will put that in my big bag of veggies for stock. So that's what I do with that. Oranges were on special this week at Woolies, so that's 3 kilos for $4.90. Not too bad. And again, oranges will keep for a while, so that's a good one for us. It doesn't go bad too quickly. 2 big 4 kilo bags of the Odd Bunch potatoes. Regular price, so $6.50, but for 4 kilos. So if I can find a Woolies that have the Odd Bunch 4 kilos, it is the best price that I can buy potatoes at the moment. So I have 2 kilos of those. That is, yes, a ridiculous amount of potatoes, but we will eat them all. Okay. Really enjoying the wholemeal spiral pasta from Woolies. So I've got 2 more of the, sorry, what did I say? Spiral pasta? I meant wholemeal. Really enjoying the wholemeal pasta from Woolies. So I've grabbed another 2. I've got spirals and penne, and I still have a spaghetti in the pantry. So that'll get us, we're only really doing pasta sort of once a week, so there's 4 weeks there, so that'll be good. And I also did pick up another 2 packets of the potato gnocchi. I am enjoying this one from Woolies, so we've grabbed that one again too. The other one that I liked from Coles, the sweet potato one, wasn't on special, so I didn't get it. But if it is on special, that's very nice as well. That's just the standard price, which is why I tend to go for that one. Okay, frozen stuff. 2 big 1 kilo bags of mixed berries. They are $11 each. You know, that's just the standard price. And they didn't have any of the 1 kilo bags of blueberries, otherwise I probably would have got that. But I just got the 500 gram one for $6.20. Standard price. Didn't do well on specials this week, but it is what it is. Corn. Didn't have any at Coles, so I grabbed it from Woolies, $4.50 a bag. And I do have 2 bags of falafels. So these are $5, regular price again, not on special. But I've been throwing these in the freezer, and then when we want to do a quick lunch or a quick dinner, I'll toast some of these up in the frying pan real quick, and we'll chuck them in wraps. And that's been a bit of a good, quick, easy go-to lunch or dinner for us that we've all really been enjoying. So I've got 2 of those, and I'll chuck those in the freezer as well. They keep really well in the freezer. And again, it's something that everyone's been liking, so we'll keep doing that. All right, frozen mixed veg, because I didn't have any of that at Coles. And I'll just throw that through like fried rice, or it's just good to have on hand. I don't specifically have anything in mind for it, but it's handy to have. And you can pretty much throw it through anything and just pull together a quick meal. And again, having a hankering for hash browns, it's turning into a bit of a bad habit, but you know what? If it only happens once a month, then maybe it's not such a bad thing. I don't know. So that's frozen and cold stuff. The other stuff that we got from Woolies, I did grab another sourdough. It is my weakness. No, it wasn't marked down. Yes, it was full price, but it's really nice. This time we're actually trying the dark rye. So I'll let you guys know what I think of that. And what we will usually do is we'll have some fresh, but I'll also chuck it in the freezer. And then we've got some just to have for toast and, you know, whatnot later on down the track. But again, not a lot of bread. That is just a bit of a naughty splurge that's happening here at the moment, but is what it. All right. This is not available, or was not available, at Coles. So I have grabbed 2 from Woolies. We are using a fair bit of it, and it seems to be getting a little bit tricky to get in the big containers. You can get in smaller quantities, but we go through a lot, so I wanted the big containers because it is more economical. Standard price on those, they went on sale this week. I grabbed some pickles because I wanted them, and these were marked down on clearance. So it's a really ridiculously big jar. I'm the only person who's going to eat them. They're going to last me forever, but they're going to go in my burger. Household stuff. We needed some more rubbish bags. We needed some more cotton buds. Oh, these were actually on clearance for 75 cents. That was pretty exciting. That was standard price. Charlotte does get a little bit car sick, and we found that these help her quite a bit. So I've actually grabbed 2 packets of these because, surprisingly enough, they have been a little bit tricky to find as well. So they are probably going to last her like a year. But anyways, now we've got them. Dishwashing liquid, because again, we're almost out of that. And I still have 1 packet from the last time I grabbed these. We've used 1, but I did grab another 2 packets because they were on special a little bit. Not a great buy, but they were on special a little bit, and these were the last 2 that they had. And I'm actually finding I like these, but these are not always at Woolies. So not sure what it's going to be like heading up. We're going Catherine and Darwin. So I've grabbed 2 more. It's definitely going to get us through. If they happen to have them up there and they're on sale, I'll probably grab them so that I don't have to buy them when they're not on sale. And toilet paper, because we always need that. That is the Who Gives a Crap, and that's just what we like. So we'll stick with that one. And 10 of the soy milk from Woolies. They did have the oat milk that I wanted on special, but of course it was all sold out by the time I got there. So we are going to have to pop back in and try again, maybe tomorrow or maybe Monday, and see if they haven't restocked, because that was on special, but I couldn't get it because it was all sold out. If not, we're going to have to work out what we're going to do in the oat milk department. But the soy milk department, I've got 10 of those. That should get us through until we do the next big shop, like I said, which will probably be up in Darwin. So that is Woolies, and that finishes off everything that we need for the next 4 weeks. And there you have it, another massive grocery haul that I now need to pack away into the caravan. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time here with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it a little bit interesting. If you did, as always, if you could please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And if you would like to see more videos like this, and you haven't already hit that little subscribe button down below, now would be a great time to do that. I'd really appreciate it. It's a really easy way for you guys to help support my channel. Doesn't cost a thing, heaps of fun to press that little subscribe button, and it's the best way to be notified when my new videos come out. Well, I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic week, and I do hope to catch up with you in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye.